TME sold almost 500,000 devices, and what I discovered in TME, this is the real example, the RMA ratio is 0.0001%. We have also like the most advanced docking station with extra 13 ports.
So basically I'm turning my laptop into a stationary PC.
There are also products which have wireless video transmission.
Come again? Sorry. This is a cable, a tool, a device, a thing that we use every single day, mostly without even noticing it. And yet, we still know so little about it. Luckily for me and for us, today with me is Mr. Mariusz Jasionek from Vention, country manager. Mariusz, I'm so glad you're here.
I'm also very glad for the invitation, and I will be happy to discuss some topics.
Some topics like this cable, because this is a USB-C cable, and let's start with a big one. Are all USB-C cables the same?
Of course not. Normally, when we take the cable to our hands, we actually don't know what kind of cable it is, what kind of parameters it has, and the difference is huge.
Okay, so let's compare. I got my device, for example, I don't know, a Bluetooth speaker, and it came with a USB-C cable. So can I plug that USB-C cable to my phone? Will it work?
Of course, but we don't know if it will allow data transfer. We don't know how fast will be the charging. So normally the cables which we will receive from some devices bought in the market, they are specifically and probably the lowest spec which will just be used for this specific device. But how about the modern smartphones, laptops? And we see these days everything has better spec, and we need faster charging, more data to be transferred in extreme pace. So yeah, let's talk what we can have.
Yeah, how can I be sure that the cable I got is compatible with my device? I mean, to get the best out of it.
First of all, TME has the best description for every product. We are also making sure that every product, let's say cables, you have exact parameters here. The parameters, like those two important ones, are the charging, watts, like 60 watts, 240 watts, but also data transfer. So based on the product category, like USB 2.0 up to USB 4, we will have very different parameters, and based on our needs, we need to choose the cable carefully.
Okay, so let's think the scenario. I got my brand new smartphone and I want to transfer data to my computer. So I'm looking at the best data transmission. What are the speeds we're looking at?
When we talk about USB-C, and the first one was USB 2.0, so the data transfer speed at that time started at 480 megabits per second. Then USB 3.0 allow 5 gigabits per second.
Oh, that's a huge difference.
Like 10 times.
Yeah.
But this is just the beginning. USB 4 allows 40 gigabits per second. So this is a huge difference, and the most important is that we have to understand what kind of capabilities have those two devices which we want to transfer the data. Then we can choose the right product, and this is very common mistake that we just take any cable that suits the ports.
Yeah, if it fits, it works.
Yeah, and then it's hard to distinguish what are the parameters of the data transfer or charging speed if we don't know exact details. We are these days able to have products which will do these things for us. Let's see, for example, this product on the cable, it will display how many watts.
Like on the cable?
Yes, on the cable. We can also have this parameter on the charger. Even simple devices like cables start to let us know if this is the right product for our needs.
And I know that some cables are communicating not only with us, but also with devices. Is that right?
Yes. So if we want to achieve more than 60 watts, we see here products with 240 watts. For that purpose, the cable should have small chip which is called eMarker, which will communicate between the cable and the device what kind of charging speed is allowed. Of course, we don't know it. If we take the cable, if it's not written clear, we don't know. This communication is between the cable and the charging device.
But when we're buying a cable, we can read that on here on the box, but of course on our website we can read that in specification. Like it has a what did you call it? A eMarker.
Yes, eMarker, and generally we can see all the parameters like the charging and data transfer. So this is very important and not very common that people pay attention to these kind of details.
You mentioned that there are also chargers with displays, but I think anything about charging couldn't be achieved without chargers. And here we have some beautiful examples of it. What I see here is a GaN charger, GaN charging kit to be more specific. What is GaN? Is it some kind of technology? This is a semiconductor used to manufacture these kind of chargers. This is gallium nitride instead of silicon, which was used before. In this way, we achieve smaller size. It's also heating up less. It's very important when we increase the parameters of chargers, and like here we can charge 4 devices at once up to 140 watts, so it's possible to charge like 2 laptops, standard ones, or 1 gaming laptop, plus some smartphones, tablets, and in this product we also have TFT display which will show us the parameters like we spoke before. Then we can check exactly if our cable is capable to charge in full speed, which is allowed by the device we are charging. And of course, it's allowed by the charger, which we see the parameters. Yeah, I can see that you have multiple choices from the standard, as you said, 60 watts up to, we have 240 watts? Actually, we have 200 watts. Maximum. These are more like desktop chargers. We need now only 1 charger to charge more devices. We all know at home there are more and more products which needs charging every day. Everything is becoming smart, and then I need to charge. I've seen some rechargeable shoes one day, so maybe that sounds silly, but yeah, you're absolutely right. We need to charge all the things. But okay, you've said plenty of nice things about Vention, but to be honest, how can I be sure that Vention guarantees quality? That's a bit of a tricky question, but I'd like to check it. Yeah, maybe not every one of you knows Vention brand. So the company was founded 20 years ago, in 2006. We are one of the biggest manufacturers of cables worldwide. We have 3 own factories in China. 3 own, but 20 more where we are stakeholders, and we create many more different specific products. So the company is big, and the most important for us is quality. Do you have any proof that the quality is good? I think you have a proof. TME is working with Vention more than 5 years. That's right. Already. And I checked that TME sold almost 500,000
devices, our policy is to deliver to customers products which are not going to fail in 99.9%. So we leave only 0.1% margin for any RMA cases. And what I discovered in TME, this is the real example based on these almost 500,000 devices, the RMA ratio is 0.0001%.
Okay, I think that proves that. I mean, that's not even a half. That's tiny. That's absolutely nothing, almost. I'm so glad.
So it's more likely that you will never see any Vention product broken. Especially, it's very annoying when you open the box and receive the product which is not working immediately. This is for us the top priority. We really take care about the quality check. We don't allow any dead on arrival products. So yes, that's how we make sure that the quality is right.
Okay, I'm convinced. I hope our viewers as well. So let's get back to products. We've discussed USB-C, we've discussed charging, so I think it's nice to go into video, because I know you have some beautiful video cables, but in some different standards. What standards do you offer?
We can mention older standards which are typical for video transmission, like DVI. Then we can speak about very common standard like HDMI, and of course we can have like higher parameters which are most likely used in PCs. This is DisplayPort. So the truth is that we have all cables. It's just a matter what kind of cable the customer needs.
Yes, I think some people might be interested, because most of the movies today are made in 25 frames per second. The sports games are usually transferred maybe in 50 FPS, maybe 60 in United States. But I've seen your cables are capable of 240 Hertz. Am I correct?
Yes, that's true. Generally, the market is demanding better and better specs. So we are not only capable of the resolution, like 4K, 8K, even 16K now coming, but also refreshment rate. We want to make sure that the customer has the widest choice, like we spoke before. It's just a matter of the needs.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm a gamer myself. I plug into my PC, my high-end, let's call it graphics card, a cable, and I want to make sure that the 240 frames that are generated are transferred without doubt and without any mistake to the display. So, do you guarantee that?
Of course.
Awesome.
Just check out our cable. This is the difference. So I would like to repeat again, the parameters which are clearly stated with every product sold in TME, and we guarantee it. So it's not just a marketing number printed on the box. These are the certificates. This is the quality which we deliver with every of our products.
Awesome, awesome. I'm so glad. But going into more practical things, do you also offer adapters? Because, you know, we talk about HDMI, but also DisplayPort, also DVI is still a thing, and sometimes I might need to plug in into a different connector. Do you also offer adapters?
That's right. These are like little tiny things, but in the situation when we have so many standards and we need to have the transition between those standards, there are adapters. It's all very important that we can use even older devices in like newer standards, and our adapters, they also have very reliable chips inside. So it's not only possibility to plug in, it does work.
What about headphone jack? Because, for example, the new phones don't come with the possibility to plug in your regular headphones. Do you also offer some audio adapters so you can plug?
Of course, this is another kind of adapters. Here we also start to talk about audio. This is also a category which is very important for us. We are delivering the highest quality audio cables and all the adapters. The portfolio is wide. Only in cables, we have more than 3,000 different products.
Yeah, you even offer RJ45 cables, something that is, I think, reserved for the network companies, and yet you still deliver, and you deliver the highest quality. This right here is Cat 8, right?
Yes, category 8. Of course, we have other standards, all types, different colors, different length. Yeah, this is something we pay attention as well to develop.
But let's stay with the computer world. It's a trend to give a really nice, complicated device with just 1-2 ports, but I still have my HDMI to plug in, I still have my keyboard and mouse to plug in, I got all sorts of stuff that I want to plug into for my some fruit device, not to mention the company. But yeah, how can I plug multiple devices into my one port?
These days, laptops become smaller, thinner,
yes,
and we see less ports surrounding the device. It's very common that people are using hubs or docking stations. A hub is just a small device which will allow plugging more devices through USB, and for example, it adds Ethernet port. Docking station allows transferring video. This is very common that people now move from work, home, they have like desktop setup, but the core is a small laptop, and we just need one smart device which will give us extra 4, 5, 6, 7 ports. We have here some devices showing this kind of extension, up to 13 ports. We have also like the most advanced docking station with extra 13 ports.
So basically I'm turning my laptop into a stationary PC.
That's right, and this laptop is your mobile.
Yeah, I can
device.
plug it, unplug it, sorry, and then take it anytime. That's awesome. But does it also charge?
Yes.
Okay.
So
okay.
so it's very interesting that those docking stations, they have power delivery. They can fast charge devices connected. There are also products which have even wireless charging or even wireless video transmission.
Come again? Sorry. What do you mean?
This is a new category which we are now promoting worldwide. We have HDMI or Type-C wireless transmission, means that we can connect and transmit video not through the cable, but wireless, but it creates own 5 gigahertz or 5.8 gigahertz network that will transmit the audio and video signal in 4K quality and up to 50 meters.
I already have in my mind some uses for that, let's call it a wireless cable, right?
Yeah.
That's absolutely awesome. Man, I can't wait to test it. I hope I will have a chance to check it. I think we've covered everything that we've prepared here, but Vention is probably have many other products in portfolio. We should recommend checking tme.eu, I think.
That's right, and we are looking forward for strengthening our cooperation, for introducing more products into portfolio, and to make sure that all the customers are happy and the professionality of TME will deliver the best products to all the customers.
Yeah, if you have any comments, any questions, or maybe ideas for future products, feel free to leave us a comment. We will read all of them. And Mariusz, thanks again for joining me here today and going through this wonderful trip through Vention offer. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.